Well, let's kick things off. We got Astralis starting over on the CT side. Cloud9 going to be starting off on the T side. And initially, Glave's going to go for an early peek down towards the middle. You can see how passive Cloud9 are playing off the bat. Maybe giving a little bit too much respect to Astralis, as now Magic's going to push long and take the first kill of the series.
Yeah, a lot of aggression already from this CT side. Magic's with 2 opening picks. He's sticking around, and he will be closed out eventually by JT. However, we still have players lurking in very aggressive spots. Of course, if they can catch Device, then it would turn things back into a 3v3 situation, but they are going to go back, clear things out, manage to retrieve themselves the bomb, and Astralis in this situation, they've wasted a hell of a lot of their opposition's time, and more importantly, they can now just fall back to the sites. They've got a man advantage already. All they have to do is trade.
I'm curious, did actually Magic's have a kit? I don't know if he had one. If he's pushed up that far, I would assume not, because the rest of Astralis do not have one. So retake's going to be very quick if even Cloud9 can get that bomb down. You already see them looking to head over towards the B side. They do have the 2 smokes to open things up, but Zipex is going to be there, and he is just waiting to take some heads off.
Yeah, this is his prime position. This is exactly where you want Zipex to be. Very hard to take out, and they're not closing him down quick enough. Already, Sonic will fall to Dupree, and it leaves Floppy alone. But he's turned it down into a 1 versus 2. Spots out Device, now has the information of where both players are. Looking for that individual duel, he'll get it, but Glave's going to take the win.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we expected. But to be fair to Cloud9, like, that was a lot closer in the end of things, considering how that round started, losing 2 players off the bat to Magic's aggressive push over towards long. But I think we're seeing, like, the respect out of Cloud9 giving to Astralis. Just in that pistol round alone, I'm a little bit worried down the line if they're going to give too much respect to Astralis, because then Astralis is just going to walk over you and make you fight for basically every inch around this map.
Well, they are actually going to buy into this. No bomb plant, so the buy is not going to be a particularly pretty one. It will be Floppy using the extra money he gained from kills to pick up a Galil, and then the remainder just having pistols. It's not a good purchase, and up against what is a heavy amount of SMGs, sure, there's a chance to do some damage, but JT and Floppy not having any head armor, they're going to have issues versus these SMGs.
You can see them looking to take their time. There's a pretty decent stack out of Astralis towards the B site with 4 players in that near vicinity. Dupree there to back up. And Device even pushing aggressively for information. I don't think he's been able to spot out any players just yet, but I do like how Cloud9 are taking their time here, trying to make everything work with what they've invested into this round. They just need to hit these shots, and honestly, I can see Cloud9 as being a team. If they start to get like 1, 2, maybe 3 rounds in a row, they can really pick up some momentum against a team like Astralis, but you can never count out the boys in blue at the moment.
Yeah, this is patient stuff at the moment from Cloud9. Slowly making their way around Banana. Going to flash out, and there's actually no support for Device. He should be going down. Nothing that he can do there. It seemed like Dupree was meant to be having a peek through the smoke. Okay, JT. He's given them a 2-man advantage with 30 seconds to get into this site. The full rotation coming in from the B side, but that means there's nobody left to try and defend. Zipic gets in quick enough, but he's only for a 1-for-1 trade. They have managed at least a little bit of extra damage onto 2 of the remaining players. So there is still a possibility here, but still just 1-for-1. Good work from Cloud9 to trade out every single one of these kills. And now the IGL Glaive left in a 1 versus 3. Looking to try and round this corner. Does manage to find Sonic, but the dual peek coming out from Cloud9 works wonderfully. And the 2 entries coming up from JT as well is going to hand them the round.
Really well done by Cloud9, I have to say there. Like, every time they peeked against a player against Astralis, minus JT's random spray through a smoke with the Deagle, they had like a 2-on-1 peek. They didn't allow Astralis to get those 1v1s where they could potentially win those aim battles and get that man advantage back. So really well done by them. But yeah, a little bit of luck out of JT there. Hopefully that luck can continue to go for them. If he can continue to hit those shots through the smokes. And of course the flashbangs, that limited utility they had to open up that first kill onto Device. Well placed, well done. Cloud9 get their first round on the board, but can they continue as we progress through the rest of this map and the rest of the series? We see Astralis investing into the Deagles and a 5-7 there for Zipex. A little bit of Kevlar as well, and a couple of smokes too, so maybe looking to delay some pushes coming through. You can still see yet again how slow Cloud9 are about pushing around any of these angles and getting any ground. That's kind of what we're going to expect, I guess, throughout this map against Astralis.
Yeah, they know this is like a forced buy round as well from Astralis, so there's a very, very high chance of it. So they're going to take their time. They don't want to take any real risks. You don't want to go just running into an angle and give someone like Dupree or Zipix or any name on the Astralis roster the chance to pull out a crazy multi-frag round. So they're just going to try and hold for any early aggression. Then I imagine we're going to see them group up in a certain direction, hopefully after finding what will be an early pick. But for now, not too much aggression actually at all from Astralis. They're just happy to sit back to the side. It's fairly uncommon for what is a force buy round, but I guess when you have yourselves the Deagles, you just want to be holding the angle. It looked like that was going to line up for Dupree, but the flashbang from OC is spot on. It's again, something that we see a lot from Cloud9 is their utility usage is on point. They're not just one of those sort of puggy NA teams that has some decent individuals. They are going to be using their utility well. They're going to be setting each other up. But even still, sometimes that may not be enough as we end up in a 4v4 again.
It reminds me a little bit of, I believe, Furia when we're casting them back in the Pro League, how they've set up so many kills time and time again with these flashbangs, with these pop flashes. Oh, okay, OC gets a shot through the smoke as well. You know what? Maybe Astralis needs their smoke settings. This is working out really well for Cloud9 so far. You know, I'm curious, is this worth almost just saving? Yeah, the Deagles and the Kevlar, you might as well keep it into the next round. Maybe look for some of these exit frags. But Cloud9's going to come out the gate swinging. They're going to get the early lead at 2-1.
Yeah, and on the T side as well. Always going to be good to kick things off well on your T side. And of course, this is as bad as the economy can really get for Astralis because you win the pistol, lose the follow-up round, and you don't get any of that lovely bonus money that comes with losing the initial pistol. So it's a tougher situation from them. I also think the rotations so far from Cloud9 have actually been very good. They've been able to, at either time, pick the weaker site, which some of that's going to be down to luck, but a lot of it's down to how they were baiting some of these early aggressive positions. Like you saw them take all the map control over to A in both rounds, and this time it almost looked like an identical setup to what they did last round, but they at the last second switch it back to B and there's no one there. So they've been able to bait out Astralis' rotations quite well in these rounds so far. And now, well, it's going to be one of those rounds where Astralis, it's similar to the last. They've dropped over an extra Deagle onto Device. Dupree is just going to have to stick it out with the USP. And, yeah, another chance for Cloud9 to really just build up early cash.
No flashbang, though. I was looking for Astralis' side to maybe set Magisk up for a couple of shots up close and personal. It's actually going to be over towards Connector. And we've seen Cloud9 pick up the pace here, realizing they're not really going to be on too much. Again, flashbangs coming through, allowing Modem to get an early peek. I think OC was able to allow Modem to get a kill earlier on in the last round. Look at this whole Device now blinded up. Zipex is going to be there. He gets one. Modem's going to shut him down. Modem gets a second as well, but Magisk tucked away, and Connector is going to return on to Floppy. I think it's just going to be a Galil there, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, they've been able to drop, I think, one of the AKs. But Magic's only with a Galil in hand, and he's been held into the Connector spot.
Yeah, he's trying to bait them in, make them think he's rotated back, but instead he's going to actually push further forward. You can see the T still just looking to clear their back lines. It's not like they really have to rush. Sure, it's into a 3v3. They've lost some players as they go, but they want to make sure that there's not going to be anybody flanking in. So just clearing everything slowly. They already have a man on short as well in the form of Sonic, so nobody can really push that angle. The only real worry is Magisk, because he did try and give away a sound cue to make them think that he's gone from the connector. Luckily, Sonic seems to be aware, but it's going to come down all to timing. In fact, both players actually facing in the wrong direction. Magisk will be able to get a relative amount of information. The problem is, it might be too little too late. Dupree with absolutely nothing on the site. Magisk chimes in with a kill, making things very costly as it is. But there's still a possibility they could steal this round away. But a nice shot from JT leaves it all onto Magisk. He needs the 4K if he's going to have any chance of actually winning this round. And both players now going to be able to fall back into passive positions and smoke him off.
Yeah, perfect resmoke coming through. I wanted to say Magisk had a chance with Modem being on 6 health, but it looks like she's going to back off and just save into the next round. So again, Cloud9 looking pretty good. I did like how Magisk had this position to be a big playmaker for his team. And it all came down to timing. If he caught maybe JT on the swing in towards short, maybe could have alleviated some pressure for Dupree. Or sorry, yeah, I think it was Device actually with the USP that was over there. And maybe have given them a chance in that round. But Cloud9 playing cool, playing calm, and playing collected. And I like to see this out of the team because they've been on the up and up. They've been on the rise for such a long time, it feels like. Like we said before, that opportunity they got within the Pro League last season, they've taken that and they've just run with it.
Yeah, that round was really costly, though. Like, that was
True.
Just to save weapons. Modem actually dies to the bomb. So only JT survived that round, and that's a round that you want to be keeping clean. So,
well, to be fair, I think Modem had the Galil as well, and JT had the AKs, so you're not going to keep the Galil anymore, right?
Yeah, you're
still going to upgrade.
You are going to keep the Galil. That is a waste. Like, it's a very costly round for what it was.
Okay.
Like, it only having, I think, an SMG and a few pistols, you shouldn't be losing 4 players. So they win the round, that's what's important. They're still going to be moving forward, but now the buys come in. Now the going really gets tough. This is where Astralis can actually put some weaponry behind them. Still maybe a piece or two missing. They've only got a singular kit and already a fair amount of utility expended with only 25 seconds gone on the clock. The T's, though, maybe looking to pick up the pace a little bit. Nice nade, though, already kicking things off. It's going to be that Galil staying forward. Lots of damage done, but it's still going to be JT getting the opener. He's been doing very well at that in these last few rounds. He gets Magisk as well. He's only on 25 HP, but he's just completely ruined that B site. And what was looking like a fantastic start from Astralis, 2 players tagged ridiculously low, has already turned into a save.
Again, I think that was what JT's flash. No, it wasn't. That could have been JT's flashbang thrown in from short to actually allow them to push through that tunnel, even with the smoke being popped down. Able to get that kill and not lose a player. Really well done.
I think he got both kills, so I don't think it was his. I think Sonic's been playing short, so it might have been him.
Okay. Well, either way, well done by the boys in blue out of Cloud9, and they continue this pace, continue this momentum. The up's still going to be in the hands of Device, so they still have a pretty decent lineup coming into the next round, but Cloud9 not losing a single player, so making up for the last round where they lost 4 against basically the eco out of Astralis. They're going to be able to keep all 5 players left alive, all this weaponry, and really try to bring this momentum further on.
Yeah, we've actually seen them have some very good T-sides as well in the past. Like, sure, again, we're going to talk about the level of opposition they're playing against, but versus Virtus Pro, when they won 16-4 in Leipzig, they got 12 rounds on the T side, so they definitely can do it. We've seen it as well from them when we casted them against G2. They did very well on the T side there again, so it's going to be tough for Astralis. This isn't going to be a walk in a park. I think at this point, you can't really underestimate anybody who's going to be in Katowice. Like, everybody's earned their spot, be it through qualifiers, be it through ranking.
A little bit of luck with visas.
Yeah, that too. they're the one exception, but, you know, here's the start, Dupree. Again, it's going to be lots of early damage. They tried to go towards this B site in the initial start of the round, and he's this time got a kill and damaged Modern to within inches of his life. In fact, he's going to burn to 6 HP, and Device gets further aggressive to get one more. This is looking like a much better round for the Danes, and those saved weapons from the previous round are the ones really doing the work.
I mean, out of the 5 rounds we've now had, well, I guess technically the 6 with this one, I think they've basically gone B every round except maybe 1. So eventually, Astralis were bound to just stack up on the B site. You still have Dupree in a perfect position to just mow down these 3 players about to come in through Monster. Bo's be the first one. He's going to fall, and Sonic will return. But Zipex will be there to help secure it and get Astralis to stop the rot and pick up a round for themselves after 4 straight against them.
Yeah, finally able to make that buy work. It was definitely a good idea to not risk what would have been a very tough retake in the previous round to make sure they keep all their weaponry. I think, like, the last few rounds being so similar, as you mentioned, it did just mean that spraying through the smoke was worth it. A lot of damage done over onto the T side very early, and then Device is able to utilize that to get aggressive over towards the connector as well. So I imagine now we're going to fall into more of a default round for Cloud9, but not so much for the CT. Still very confident in their mid-aggression. That is now 3 rounds in a row where basically within the first 20 seconds, 2 players on the Cloud9 side are either dead or almost dead.
This does worry me a little bit, though. Astralis like, all right, well, we're done losing rounds. We're done letting you pick up at least 4 straight they're able to secure. And I think Astralis is starting to wake up as well. Device gets a kill over onto Sonic. That was in towards Connector, I believe. Yep. Looking for another. And again, this is the caliber of Astralis, right? Losing 4 rounds, some teams might start to struggle, but they just put their foot down and just continue things the way they know how, which is winning.
Oh, this is how they know how to get kills, through smoke. That seems to be the special at the moment. In fact, another one for OC. That's 2 trade back. That's given them an opener. The rotation's in quick, though. They might think this site is a little bit cleaner than it actually is, but Device is well placed. He's got Zipex to support. JT's the only healthy player left, and he's gone within seconds. OC, the only man to get 2 kills. Not seeing either of his opponents, of course, but with 15 HP, unless he's about to completely destroy Zipex through the box, I don't think he has much of a chance in this
There's no
clutch.
smoke down, so it's not going to happen. I mean, that's how many kills we've seen now through smokes out of Cloud9. Like, at least 4. And Device will pick himself up a triple. I mean, to be fair, if those two kills didn't come through, it looked like Astralis had a clean, very, very clean round there.
Well, they're being quite dynamic with their CT sides very early on in this match. Now, note that in the last round, you had Dupree over on Monster. This round he was playing Banana, Device was on short, so Glaive was now pushing mid. They completely different strategies for their CT side in 2 different rounds, and maybe that's based off spawn. It could potentially just be the fact that Device wanted to go towards the B side, but that's really tough to play against, because he is obviously the man that you fear most, even though there's so many good players within this roster. Device is the man that's toughest to take down. dupreeh getting very aggressive, though. This is like 3 or 4 rounds now. We've seen pushes into mid coming out from Astralis, and Cloud9 have not done the best job of basically taking down this player. Of course, this round's only pistols. That's why we see the SMG in for the other side. They can't quite overwhelm Device, though. He's just destroying them with the 5-7. They're going to get a 4K. Of course, it's an eco, but it's still nice to see.
It's got to be a nice little wake-up call for Astralis as well. They're getting those 4 kills for Device. It's a little bit of a shame, though, to see Modem go down over towards Playground. He was the only one with a weapon. He had the SG, and he had the opportunity to really pick up some kills, and unfortunately, just gets caught running at the wrong time, as was able to be swung around on and picked up and secured. And look at Astralis. I mean, the economy is looking good. They've got, what, 7.5 on Magus, almost 7K on Device. On the other side for Cloud9, though, pretty much scraping the bottom of the barrel here. They don't have full utility. Don't really have full weaponry either. They just have 1 glue in there. They just start picking up some kills, and unfortunately, it's not working out for him. The smoke's working against Cloud9 for once, and Magus gets himself a clean double.
Yeah, this is where things start to get a little bit scary now for Cloud9. These last few rounds have been way too dominant in the early stages for Astralis. Like, every single piece of aggression that we're seeing from the Dames is paying off. Like, they have managed to push mid 2 or 3 times. They've fought on Monster 2 or 3 times. Now we see the push coming in onto short, and they win that too. Like, eventually, Cloud9 needs to start winning some of these opening battles. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to take these rounds through. And, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, no, actually, hold on to that point as they start to push through yet again. Another smoke. JT gets the first kill onto Glaive. A nice flashbang comes through, but it actually works out against Cloud9, holding them back. And Magus is going to be there, and he's going to get himself another 2 kills. That's a quad kill in that round for him, and gets Astralis the lead back on the board. Now, for me, Tom, I wanted to bring up is that I'm a little bit worried for Cloud9 in terms of like their T-side strategy. Is they're starting to seem a little bit one-dimensional of just B-side, B-side, B-side. In different ways, don't get me wrong, but they haven't really seen like a nice execute towards A just yet. I would agree if it was the sense that I don't think they've been given the chance. Like, you can't have a strategy if within the first 20 seconds Astralis have already taken all the map away.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is the level of disrespect at the moment that Astralis is actually showing them that's forcing them into a corner. Like, the reason we've seen some fast B strategies is because that's really one of the only places they've actually had for free. Like, mid control, they've been pushed to the point where they're now dying in Playground.
Yeah.
Like, you see the aggression onto short as well. They tried to switch it up and go short. Smoke comes down, and they couldn't do anything about it. That map control's gone. Magiska's just waiting on the other side. I think they need to go a default round. And it's not like boring. It's not the most exciting thing. It's not the smartest thing in the world. But you need to be patient and wait to try and kill off some of these early players and basically get to the point where Astralis stop doing that. And at the moment, just everything is working for the Danes. Like, they are peeking out, they're finding nade damage, they're getting kills. It is really tough to play against. But as said, if you can slow your play down a little bit, somebody peeks mid and you're ready for it, somebody pushes short and you're ready for it, then maybe you can get an early pick or something, and then Astralis go, okay, now we have to stop doing this. But until that point, Astralis are not going to stop doing that. They're going to keep taking these fights, they're going to keep getting aggressive, and if it's successful, hey, they're going to win out this half.
Well, one of the roughest parts, too, that I'm seeing for Cloud9 is that they have to invest. If they wanted to take these positions early on, either they need to hit the shot or they need to set things up with utility, which means then they won't have it later on if they try to execute in towards the site. So they're going to have to play a little bit loose and a little bit fast after that, you know, like first point of contact. And look at the confidence Device has. I mean, he got a 4K with a 5-7 earlier on near this position. Might get another 4K this time yet again with the AWP. And now Sonic, he's got a lot of work to do. Gets the first onto dupreeh. That's a great shot out of him. Not really going to affect the economy, though, out of Astralis. If anything, it just gives away his position, which Device was just trained straight on.
A relatively easy cleanup now, a streak of 5 rounds in a row for Astralis. Might be time for Cloud9 to call a pause, slow things down a little bit, maybe have a bit of time to talk with the coach and just say, okay, how can we adapt? I do think just going for one of these slower rounds could work out for them. I actually quite like the fact that they pulled up the SGs, because if you're going to hold an angle with any gun, that is the perfect weapon to have. At the same time, I'll be interested to see if they are just going to go back to maybe a faster play towards the B site once more, because it was the only successful thing for them. But for now, at least, looking like a little bit more of a split in terms of control. You're going to have Modem just holding to make sure that nobody can push too aggressively in mid, which Device is currently peaking, but not the most aggressive spot. Even still, though, he is watching to see if anybody's there. And the issue with that there's no one there to stop him, no one there to counter him, is they can now just bolster this B side ready for any sort of take.
Dupree solo and health down to 16 HP. In the meantime, the rest of the players of Cloud9 are trying to push through Monster. Now a little bit staggered here as Magic gets 2 and Glaive gets 1. Now it's down to OC and Sonic, 2 versus 5. Not the greatest positions either to really do too much damage. We know that over towards short, Sonic has pressure coming in from Connector, even a flank potentially coming through. And Astralis, again, not losing a single player. They got Magis on 16K, and they've taken, what, 6 rounds straight now?
Yeah, this is starting to get rough for Cloud9, and it's. I think this has all just come down to some good reads from Astralis, but mainly because they have all the information. Like, Device was up there so quick, he could basically just go, yeah, no one mid. Yeah, no one mid. Yeah, it's B. Like, it's B or Connector. They had Dupree and Connector, so it's not Connector.
I mean, one thing that Cloud9 was doing well, like in the rounds that they did win, was setting up kills, right, with flashbangs. Yep. Like, OC had great placements. Modem was able to secure quite a few of these kills, albeit there was some kills through smokes that did happen in some of these rounds, but we're not really seeing that great utility usage to, like, allow these picks to come through. Then again, Astralis are just playing really, like, tug and pull sometimes, up aggressive, sometimes passive, and now we see Dupree with a chance to flank in from behind as well. There's going to be a person waiting. Sonic and him trade places. Dupree gets through. He gets 2. OC will finally shut him down, but at what cost?
This is Astralis in full confidence mode at this point. Like, they know that this is theirs to take, so they're starting to get very aggressive, even in rounds that they probably shouldn't be. Like, this is only a horse-buy round. Utility doing so much damage. OC gets headshotted. JT will at least be able to trade one back, and they have retrieved some weaponry. Unfortunately, JT doesn't have himself any armor whatsoever, so he's going to be in a tougher spot. Nice shot out from him. Magisk at least will trade. He's been phenomenal so far, and this man at his best can beat anyone, and he will close out the round as well. 15-3 for Magisk. This is sort of what I was talking about, though. Like, I didn't expect Astralis to come into this in the same form we saw previously. And it almost makes me feel a bit bad for Cloud9, because if you're getting the world-beating team in a situation where they go, yeah, we now need to win a tournament, we need to prove that we are still the best, it's not the form you want to face them in. Yeah. You want to face them where they're comfortable. They've just come back, they've had a nice Christmas, they've had the holidays, and they go, we're nice and real. That's when you want to play Astralis, not when they go, okay, it's business time, boys.
I think oh man.
On!
I think that's like 2 nades in a row we've seen do at like a minimum of 50 damage. And he hits the shot onto OC as well. Device is on 13-4. And thing is, I mean, it potentially can get a little bit easier for Cloud9, assuming, you know, they do lose this series overall. They'll play against the loser of NIP and Vitality, if I'm not mistaken. It's a little bit easier from there. But then again, being 1 loss in a double elimination group,
Let's not talk
I'm just saying.
Let's not talk about that again. Come on. They've still got opportunities here. They'll go into the CT side. They've already got the bare minimum amount of rounds that they want, but I feel like mentality-wise, it's going to be really tough if they don't manage to get anything else on the board. They definitely need to try and do something about these early picks, and that's nice work coming out from Modem. He's going to catch out Magisk. Glaive's in a good position. Zippix kills him through the wood. That makes it so much more difficult, because now Glaive can focus back in the other direction. They've just got Device running riot as well. Like, this man is solo fighting Banana and has not even come close to dying. Like, it's not even been any issues for him all the way through. He's now getting more aggressive, but it doesn't matter, because Glaive's got the Connector under control. He's going to get a double of his own. Another 4-man survival round coming up for Astralis. They have money for days. They've got enough easily to buy till the end of this half. And I think this pause is definitely necessary from Cloud9. It's the second one they're going to call. And I don't really know what they can change. I still think that you need some of these slower rounds to be thrown in to catch off the aggression. The only issue is it's sort of tug and pull. Like, if they wait, Astralis will take map control and hold on to it. If they don't and they try and push somewhere, Astralis will be behind them before they know it and already know what's going on. So it's really going to be a difficult call of what they should actually do here.
I mean, again, we think about the nade damage. If they do rush, they're running straight into those being thrown in their face too. And I would actually like to see them potentially like challenge up against Device. Obviously, a very difficult thing to do, but take him down the middle. We see how aggressive he's been playing in a lot of these rounds. You get that early kill, get that early man advantage, and then play the rest of that round slow to try to secure a 5th on the board. But we're going to see him again pushing up. He's got no backup. Does have Dupree push over towards long. And again, look at that. Look how wide of an angle he's taking here, too. Nice flashbang comes through, does force him back. A second one as well. So at least keep him off this angle. But look at Dupree. He's just waiting. And OC takes, well, 71 damage from a nade.
Yeah, and this is the issue. They are doing exactly what you said. They're going to force the issue versus Device, but in the meantime, other players within Astralis have taken map control away. Dupree all the way in the backlines behind them. They're now already completely surrounded. So the small amount they've gained, Astralis has gathered up even more. Of course, again, it's only pistols in this round, but it really just proves how good Astralis are actually playing at the moment, because it is exactly like a Hydra situation. You cut off one head and 2 more grow back.
And the unfortunate part for Cloud9 was when Dupree flanked around behind, he killed Modem, and Modem was the one that had the SG in the round. He's the only one with the rifle in the round. They obviously recovered the AWP later on, but unfortunate times for Cloud9. 10-4 against them currently on the first half of Overpass. But let's see as they go into the last round with a full buy-up into this one. And Astralis, I mean, they can't even spend all their money, just like in real life.
Hey, hit me up. I'm sure I can try.
Donate to the charity of Tom.
Well, OC not going to be able to connect onto Device, and once again, he's going to get away with these aggressive peaks. You can see that this is more of a passive round coming out from Cloud9. They're going to wait patiently for this aggression to come. But the issue is, again, the great thing about Astralis is you can see they always seem to know what's going on. Like, they've aggressed onto short when now there's nobody peeking in that direction, of course, because no one's taken that early control. So they've completely switched their setup once again. They've put Glaive now into the more aggressive positions over on the A site. And again, they just seem to be in the right place at the right time when it comes to what Cloud9 want to be doing.
I really wanted to see Zipex continue to kill people through the wood. Because then you can basically say, yeah, you guys can see through smokes and get kills. Well, I can see through the wood and get kills.
I can see through walls.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little... Well, it looks like Cloud9 will be set up for a B-side hit, though. Look how many players of Astralis are currently here waiting for it, though. Device is going to be trailed towards short. Zipex there as well. The flashbang comes through to allow them to get out. But the problem is Device is still there, and he gets himself 2 quick kills. Zipex gets another as well, and Astralis is going to take the 11-4 first half scoreline here on the first match of the day at the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice 2020 Master Championship. We'll see you guys and how the second half is going to develop after a short break.
Fly away, we will never be the same. And as long as you are mine, come on and run away, we wanna run away. We don't need any reasons, baby. Leave it all for the faded hearts. I don't mind if they call us crazy, 'cause they don't understand what we're after. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. I'm running out of time, and as long as you're mine, I wanna run away. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice 2020 Master Championship, brought to you by Jason Kaplan, Tom Biz. We also have Vince and Wolfie coming up later on today.
Yep.
They're being lazy, probably sleeping in bed, or hopefully watching us while they're in bed. That's where I like to be with Vince and Wolfie, is in bed with them, giving them the what? What's up? Tom? You can't leave. You have to stay here with me. That's
yeah,
in the contract.
unfortunately, I would have to actually take this off to be able to leave. Although I can actually walk relatively far. I can get out of shot. There you go.
Okay.
That's
I mean, the shot already looks better, if I were to say so myself.
To be fair, it does, because you can't see quite as much of the height difference.
That's true. That's true. I think we did it better, though, in Frankie and Threat.
Yeah, almost like you're so close to your head being off the edge, and then my camera has clearly been tilted so far down that...
Well, it's that, plus like the glare angle they're trying to cut off and everything.
Yeah, because if I do this, everybody dies.
That's true. That's in the contract as well. You're not allowed to like tilt your head towards me, because then the light's blinding. Like the sun, but a little bit brighter.
You'll be fine, though, because at least you'll still have your sense of smell.
I don't think I can lose that, possibly. If you guys are just joining us, you missed out on the first half of Cloud9 up against Astralis. It was a very one-sided affair, though it didn't start off that way. 11-4 in favor of Astralis, and we're just waiting for that second half.
It was 4-1.
It was 4-1, but then that quickly changed when Astralis just started to hit their shots, started to play aggressive, and really punish Cloud9 time and time again with device in middle, and of course with that nade damage.
I think the biggest issue was just how much map control they were able to get. Like, there was just too much. Like, they were able to take middle control. You had Glaive just running out mid. Magisk did it as well. Dupree was able to wrap through long and get behind them a fair few times. Connector, I think the only time that it was ever taken by Cloud9 was when there was no one there. Like, Astralis just abandoned it a few rounds, and that's when they managed to retrieve it. So it just became impossible for them, because Astralis had too much information. And when that's the case, like, they're just going to dominate. Either way, we go into the CT side of Cloud9. They've got a mountain to climb on their map choice, but we'll see if they'll be able to survive versus the champs.
You know, thinking back to that first half as well, would Cloud9 have been able to pick up those 4 rounds without some of these shots through the smoke? I mean, we had JT get that deagle through long onto Dupree, if I'm not mistaken, and then they got a kill before that earlier on with a nice flashbang. You know, maybe if that round didn't come through, we would have seen even more of a one-sided first half. But I don't want to count Cloud9 out just yet. I still want to see them come back. We've been able to luckily see the rise of them throughout the last few months, starting off with the Pro League. And now we're going to see them try to go for the retake on the B side. They do have JT with a kit, so they do have the opportunity to play out time, but will they be able to take down Glaive? They just come jumping around the core. He gets his first, but OC's going to shut him down and just trades equally across the board.
I wonder if they'll expect Device, however. He's going to be waiting patiently out towards long. Dupree on the side goes down to Floppy, and there is Device. He's been spotted. Still, we stick in a 2v2, but clearing out this long position is going to be difficult, and they're hunting him down. They don't know where Magisk is, but he can't connect any of the shots. It's going to be left all onto Device. He's going to deny the defuse for now and just going to be waiting patiently for OC to try and push him. Fake flash, even baiting out OC. Device has this all day long and makes it look far too easy in what was a tough clutch.
Yeah, very tough indeed, especially with Cloud9 just charging straight through, able to take down Magisk and trade relatively well. But now we're seeing Astralis buy up. Look at this, 20-5 for Device. Dupree and Glaive haven't even needed to really show up so far in this series, because Magisk, Device, and Zipex are just doing all the work for them. Insane stuff out of the side, out of Astralis, as they're looking to reclaim some former glory, I'd say, after their first term of the year was a little bit lackluster.
You normally talk about as well, if you see the in-game leader of most teams at least at the top of the scoreboard, then there's probably some issues coming in. And well, JT is far and above the rest of his team at the moment. Still carrying on, 12-12, he's even, but unfortunately the stars of this Cloud9 roster are yet to wake up. Floppy right near the bottom of the board. Sonic also not performing. And you're never going to win matches like that. Of course, it seems like they're being overwhelmed, but Modem at least is going to be able to find one with the 5-7. Dupree quickly jumps on that AK-47, make sure there's no chance for a retrieval, but at least for now, Cloud9 do have their man advantage.
And as we've been talked about before with Floppy, like this is a player you're saying that like maybe if like Liquid or EG need a new player, you know, down the line, that's what they can definitely look at. Yep. But he's not really had the performance so far. 4 kills for him. We've seen him do some amazing things in prior games, but a little bit slow to start here to kick off the day. Nice little shot out of JT. That's his second of the round. Looking for number 3 as well as Blade peeks around the corner. Not quite able to hit the shot, but he's going to stick around looking for more, and Xyp9x eventually going to overwhelm him, just jumping into the air. There's a chance here for Cloud9. They have the man advantage. They have the possibility to pull this off, and there's only 30 seconds left for Astralis to get the bomb in towards the site.
Yeah, they've got quite a long rotation as well if they are going to be going for anything here. Taking a long time to do it, and I think they've realized that they're going to have to start running. The thing is, I don't think there's anybody close enough to actually hear the footsteps. Sonic moving back, though, that should give him the information of them running, and I think they now have the perfect positions to try and deny anything. Molotov going to be flying in to try and clear some of the closer angles, smoke onto the site, but they've got to deal with Sonic, but he doesn't hit his shots, and both go down. Xyp9x within seconds, but Floppy, perfect timing. He'll get the double off the MP9. The Fault Spy is going to be won by Cloud9, and that is the lifeline. That is their chance to come back into this match.
I'm not going to lie. I was getting scared when I saw Xyp9x get those first 2 kills. It's like, all right, well, this is another round over for Astralis, but really well done, as you mentioned. Floppy coming in a little bit, well, actually at the perfect time to be able to secure that last kill. You saw them trying to run to get that bomb down with about 7 seconds left to go. So there's still life left within Cloud9 in this map. They're not out just yet. Going to be buying up into this round. We see Astralis going for the hero play out of Magus with the SG. And you have the Deagles, even a P250 for Device, and the head armor as well to chime in with. So you can't sleep on Astralis at the moment. You can see Cloud9 trying to poise for that early control that we saw Astralis do on the CT side, time in and time out. And look at this, just walking straight through tunnel. Nice little flashbangs allow Sonic to peek around the corner. Gets a great headshot to Magus. Gets knocked down to 42 HP, but he'll take the kill nonetheless. Does it again as well. Another flashbang comes through. Device down to 17 health, and Cloud9 looking good.
Yeah, Device did actually manage to at least get that SG back, at least for a second, but more kills through smoke in Cloud9. They should have this one in the bag. It's going to be Dupree. Hasn't had a whole lot to do in the match so far, especially with how well Magisk, Device, and Zip have all been playing within this match so far. He can at least make things nice and costly. 1 kill already onto Floppy. You can tell that the CT side will want to get that SG, but he's getting some individual jewels. Luckily, JT is going to win that battle and put a 6th onto the board. The CT side do manage to upgrade that weapon as well. And in this round, Astralis can't really do too much. But this is starting to look like almost a carbon copy of how the last half began. It was like the pistol round went to Astralis, they lose the Force, they lose a couple of follow-up rounds, and then they blast through Cloud9. So hopefully they can now build into the match a little bit. A big mountain to climb already with 6 rounds still to the good, but they should at least be able to turn it down to 5 as there is very little investment. And the T's, basically the goal, if you can get a bomb plant, get a kill or 2, make things a bit more costly, don't allow Cloud9 to build any money. And obviously the polar opposite for Cloud9, just going to be trying to build those finances up as much as possible.
Nice little crossfire setup here too. Device is going to...
How?
It's Device.
How?
He's on 22 kills.
Yeah, but that was a Glock M4. Oh! I don't want to talk over that.
I don't either. You know, you talked about JT before, about how he's leading the team by far, 15 kills for him. He's had 2 rounds in a row. I didn't actually take a look at the last round where he's gotten 2 kills apiece and 2 big kills as well. He had the Deagle kills from Connector and a couple of nice rounds, or a couple of nice kills, I should say, from the back at B side as well to shut down the push out of Astralis. And we're seeing, you know, Cloud9 pick up some momentum, but this is where things really come into effect here. Astralis able to buy up. They don't have the full utility belt, and of course, they don't necessarily need it because it is Astralis. And JT's got to be very careful for them. Kind of the linchpin here in Connector. He's going to force the rest of Cloud9 to back away if he does fall. He does offer the quick rotate and does shut down any potential push in from the T side.
Not looking to give that early pick just yet, so he's going to fall back. Flashbang going to be coming through. Xyp9x already peeking through Monster. They lost the battles in a round ago, so they are going to be a little bit more passive in their plays. And again, it's just looking more like a standard default round from Astralis, spotting out for any aggression. And this is the difference between the two teams. We saw how much information that Astralis was able to gather within the early portions of the round. All that the CT side really know at the moment is that there's players outside Monster, and they can go for a little bit of peek over the top. In terms of Device, they have absolutely no idea, and he's starting to sneak his way around the map, gaining lots of information about positions that are clear. Ts don't necessarily have to dedicate themselves to the B side just yet, but it definitely looks like that's the direction they plan to go.
Well, about 35 seconds left to go. Flashbangs being set up for the execute. There's actually a big stack out of Cloud9 towards B. Got 4 players there, and you have OC to rotate back for help. Floppy's playing up close towards Monster. 20 seconds left. The Astralis have to make the push, and Astralis get 2 kills as well. They're only going to trade 1 back for Cloud9. It's going to be Sonic, and now Modem trying to play over towards the pit position. Has to worry about Dupree pushing up, shuts him down. 14 seconds left on the clock, and he's eventually going to fall to Glaive. And Magis will get the bomb in towards site, but OC is going to respawn with 1. The nade comes through. Doesn't do that much damage, but now it's a 2-on-2.
Yeah, and OC's so desperately low. JT is going to have to do a lot of the work. Magis peeking around the angle. He's going to lose the battle, but Device, he's got such an HP advantage over OC in this scenario. He's going to have to come down to almost baiting Device into a peek, and we've seen him in these clutch situations before. He's going to scope to try and make him not believe he's defusing the bomb. He's sticking it all the way. It comes down to the fire, and Device takes it within a millisecond. That was so close. But did we ever not believe in Device?
I don't know. I mean, the way OC was playing that with the scope into how to try to fake him out, I thought he had no time left to pull off that kill, but I really wish we knew like how close that actually was. That
too close.
Yeah, too close for comfort. Definitely indeed. And Astralis going to be able to take the round for themselves. Be able to buy up even Zipex on the MAC-10, and for Glaive, and on the side of Cloud9. Well, JT's not really going to have much to say. He's got a lot of utility, yes, but only the Deagle? Then again, he's done a lot of work, and this is going to be pretty.
Oh, no, it's not. Oh, he's messed it up.
I didn't finish. Pretty ugly.
Attempt 2? No, they're just like, right, you screwed it. That's your chance gone. You don't get another go. I don't think there's anybody peeking from heaven anyway, so the boost is null and void. Nobody really going to be looking around that angle, so Magis just checking. They've taken that control again. Counter boost could be coming in. Magis has to be careful. He walks right into the crosshair of Sonic. Good work from the CT side, getting that opening pick. They've got an aggressive position as well on long, so they are starting to, well, it seems to gain a little bit in their confidence by finding information, because the last few rounds they've been almost dedicated to the site, so other than JT, of course, who was in connector. So starting to maybe get into their rhythm a little bit, I think, knowing that this almost has to be the case after losing that clutch round. They can't keep playing back. Orb shot going to be missed, and it seems to be the story of OC's game. They didn't expect Modem to people. Where did the bullets go? They've just evaporated around Device, and he gets away unharmed. This is bold. This is bold from Zipex. Straight through he goes. This is a MAC-10 fighting versus an AWP at range, and Device just comes in to execute OC after everything went wrong. And now, while Glaive just trying to put the finishing move onto the site, but they're going to fall back. I wonder if they will. A good chance to just rotate onto this B site is completely clear. But only 20 seconds left. If the CTs realize quick enough, maybe they can stop this push, but I don't think they have.
No, they haven't rotated. I would imagine they're probably just going to save these weapons, too, into the next round. I mean, a 3-on-4 bomb going to be planted down. A little bit unfortunate in that round. I mean, we had... Well, Modem, I mean, again, yeah, where did the bullets go? That first kill into Device potentially could have been massive for them. Then OC gets overwhelmed a little bit later on.
Well, I think all I want in this moment was to have the player cam just firmly on Zipex's face as he ran through that Molotov and just killed Modem. Like, after missing that spray, I reckon Modem would have already been annoyed, and then to get killed by a guy running through a Molotov and getting flashbang, that's just going to tilt you off the face of the earth. And I think that really shows the position that Astralis are in at the moment. They're having fun.
I'm kind of imagining Zipex with like a Joker look on his face.
Just smiling.
Yeah.
A little giggle, maybe.
Asking, do you know where I got these scars?
Not this face.
Yeah.
It was not this serious, I can tell.
Well, 14-7. Shaw's looking to get onto map point off this round. We do have an op picked up for Floppy. Sonic on the M4, but not really much more else to be seen after this. I wonder if they're actually going to fully invest into this to prevent a chance at overtime or play for overtime. Looks like they will go for the former of those two. So, Astralis now with all the cards in their hands. They haven't really seen any rushing out of them so far. Maybe things will change here if they can get in towards this B side. I'm just going to play a little bit passive here. And again, Device, like T side or CT side, he's going to seem to have this middle control. And he gets it all by himself, too. This is what's even, like, scarier.
Yeah, there's not really been much aggression, but in this round, it's kind of hard to say what Cloud9 can do. They're going in with mostly pistols. Sure, you still have the AWP onto Floppy, so maybe he could have tried to be a little bit more aggressive, but I think a lot of the things they've been trying so far have failed. And also after the first half, I don't know if we're going to see the same Cloud9 we normally get. Earlier this round, it's going to be Astralis making their play into the B site. Floppy is in the right position with this AWP, just watching for anybody to cross, but he misses his shot, and that's pretty much round over. And it's going to be Sonic rotating in, but he's closed out very quickly, and now Floppy, he has no choice. He's just got to save this up again.
I mean, if you're Astralis, do you even plant the bomb right now? Just like chase him down, get some people set up. You know where he is. You know where he's going to run. You know it's an AWP. And look at that. Zipic's already in the prime position to drop him. Floppy, he's going to have to hit a couple hell of a shots to really have a chance to maintain this. And there you go. Walks around the corner. Zipix drops him. And Astralis now on map point.
Yeah, I don't really want to like speak from the position of Cloud9, but I do wonder after that first half if we're seeing some nerves creep in. They're playing against one of, if not the best team in the world. And like we've seen things like, for example, that Modem spray, which was like, obviously he was moving and jumping around, but I expect him to hit those shots. We've seen a few missed shots off the AWP. Like, it does happen, of course, but I do wonder if we're not seeing Cloud9 at their best. And that's unfortunate because, like I said, this is their best map. It's the reason they picked it in this series, and it's not going well. They've been absolutely dominated in the first half, and again, they've managed to win both second rounds and convert the next. You should be doing better than 7 rounds, even if you are playing against a team as good as Astralis. So it's a tough position. I think it's going to be a tough loss. Of course, they do have a buy into this round at least, but even still, it's bare bones. No kit, barely any utility. This is not what you want to see going into a CT side round where things have already been going wrong. OC with a whole lot of support here. It's going to be in a tough position. JT's got aggressive, though, so they will at least gain some information. Modem in the connector has managed to win his duel. The only issue is where Astralis seem to be going. It relies heavily on OC finding this kill, and he does. Peeks around, but Magisk is so quick to get that trade, and already quite far into the site is going to be Dupree. Not made his way through the smoke just yet, so Floppy has been able to rotate in, and Sonic is about to join him.
JT still, he's behind them, but he's maybe a little bit too slow. You're going to have Magic there to help watch it as well. Bomb will be planted towards the A side. Sonic going to push through the smoke. Gets his head cleanly taken off by Dupree. And finally, JT's arrived, but just into the open arms out of Magis. Now it's all on Modem and a 1-on-3 to save the map at the moment for Cloud9. And yeah, it's not going to happen. Astralis will take the victory at 16-7 and go into the second map of Train up 1-0, Tom.